everybody, and welcome to another Toonkind of 12 FPS. I'm Vamp, and today I shall be playing the ocean child, Umi, who has a broken leg still. Um, Hopefully, in a few more games, they will no longer have that. And I am joined today by my lovely friend.
Hi, I'm Hexabeast. Just Hex is fine. Uh, and I'm playing a certain shark, Selkie, Shulky, uh, who you wouldn't know it, but they've been kind of looking for Umi for a while.
Hmm, it has been a while since Umi visited their little like seashore town.
Mm-hmm.
And even with Marley saying that, of course, Umi will be fine, and knowing very well that Umi can take care of himself, hard not to worry.
It's it's hard not to worry, especially when Umi is a child.
Yes, very capable child, still a kid
I was
though.
gonna say, still a kid.
Yeah, and on Umi's side of things, they have passed their antler into letting them go down to the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
They do have someone accompanying them to make sure that they aren't gonna, I don't know, scratch at the cast until it comes off, or like jump into the water with a broken leg. They have like convinced they have convinced like the others to like let them like just sit at the pier
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the pier and like kind of look down in the water with their feet in the water,
Yeah, well, foot in the water, but yes.
foot in the water.
Yeah. All right.
And they are in fact, and they are in fact like scratching at the cat whenever the person that's pumping them isn't looking.
I mean, that's understandable. It can be very itchy to have a cast on. Uh,
Very itchy.
yeah. Okay, well, Umi, you want to roll me one quick What's your passive first, actually, I should ask.
20.
Yeah, then, okay. So, God, Umi. Damn. Anyway. So, yeah, you
I
definitely.
know for a fact that Vivi has 22 as her passive perception.
Yeah. Yeah, she does. But that's
I
not the
have
point
no
here.
room to talk.
I don't anyway. So Umi, you're just kind of vibing on the pier, having a nice chill time, and
Mm-hmm.
uh, cutting through the water, you catch a gray little splot and a dorsal fin.
Umi kind of tilts their head.
Yep.
It looks like a shark.
Yeah. Yeah. It totally does kind of look like a shark. It's it's coming towards you. It's coming towards you. It's
It looks like a very familiar shark, and like
dun dun. It's coming for you. Yeah. You only see the dorsal fin, but you still got your foot in the water there, Umi?
Umi Umi looks at the shark that's coming for them, and I'm gonna like roll perception properly now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's a 26.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, does Umi know the shark?
Umi, in fact, very much knows this shark. This shark is bioluminescent for starters, and is also not a full shark. It is, in fact, a half shark, as evidenced by the head that pops out of the water once they get close enough. Yeah, they know this shark.
And Umi does not emote very much.
Mm-hmm.
They they don't like their expression doesn't very often change.
Yeah.
But there is like they perk up just slightly, and then they sigh.
The said said uh said shark does in fact catch Inky, please. No, not right now. No, no. Down you go. Ugh. Sorry about that. Um Brain. Said shark does sees that Umi has acknowledged them and speeds up. Uh,
I'm just imagining who, whatever poor sot was like ordered to like kind of like fucking company Umi for the day, just
hmm
staring at the water like, what the fuck, what the fuck, what the
What
fuck?
the fuck? What the fuck? What the
Get
fuck?
your
What the
foot
fuck?
out of the water.
Yeah. Well, thankfully they don't have to worry too much because instead of instead of yanking Umi into the water, which they very much had to fucking like resist that urge. They did see the cast though. Lucille catapults out of the water at speed and almost tackles Umi. They don't, but they land and are immediately like scooping this child up in a hug.
Umi allows Lucille to hug them. And like, once again, I'm just imagining like whatever poor bodyguard Umi has, kind of like slowly lifting their weapon. Me just signing no over like Lucille's shoulder,
You just
and they
very
just
just no, 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 no. Lucille is still half shark. They have not stepped out of their tail yet. They are just hugging Umi and are just, kid, I have been looking everywhere for you. I am so glad to see you right now. I thought something had happened. You had missed the event. You had missed the event a week ago, and that's like it was a big event. I am so glad you are okay. Are you okay? Are you okay? What happened to your leg? Who do I
Umi
need to bite?
Umi signs Orca.
Ah, what were you doing around a bunch of orcas?
Just the one.
What were you doing around an orca?
Wasn't wasn't looking for it. Wasn't actually deep in the water around it. It came near the surface. I think it was really, really hungry.
Okay, that. All right. That's fair. That's fair. And she kind of holds Umi like at arm's length for a second, giving them a once over just to make sure there's nothing else wrong aside from the visible cast on their leg.
Yeah, no, they're fine. They're fine.
Just, well, I. And she pulls back into for another hug. I am very glad you are okay. I can at least tell Kaito and Marley that you are okay so that nobody else can worry about this.
Umi gives her like kind of like a pat on the back, like there.
It's. Look, kid, you've been gone for a while, and not gonna lie, kind of worried you went to the depths, so glad to see that you are, well, I'm not glad your leg's broken, but glad you're okay at least.
They give a little huff, a nod,
Mm hmm.
and then they wiggle a little so Lucille will let them down.
Yep. And they do. They let Umi go. And at that point, finally, like, do the motion of stepping out of their tail so that they can stand properly.
Oh,
And hitch
God,
it
I
back up around their like shoulder like a sash.
love her. And I'm just gonna make a space roll. Oh my God.
Umi, what do you
I have
pull out?
like I have fumbled with Umi like what 5 times? All the games she's been in. There was a time I fumbled twice with Umi in one game.
Incredible. Umi, what do you pull out?
Hold on, I need to find Umi's fumble chart. It's been a while. God, oh my God, huh? Da-da-dee, da-da-da, da-da-dee, da-da-da, da-da-dee, da-da-da, da-da-dee, da-da-da. Did I not? Oh, there it is. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's a tree. So Umi pulls out a whole ass hermit crab.
Yeah, all right.
and they kind of look at the hermit crab in their hands, which like does like that grubby, "Hey, what you doing with me?"
Mm-hmm.
And they hold it up to Lucille to hold.
Lucille takes the crab, casually looks at it.
Lucille, Lucille make a deck save.
Oh my god. All right. That's the one she does not have. So this is gonna be interesting. That's a 6.
Lucille, the crab fucking like pinches your thumb with their pinchers.
They just kind of and then rip it off and chuck it into the ocean.
God,
Rude.
another fumble. Aw, only one fumble. They take out their moonlight scimitar and hold it out in front of them.
Ooh.
They kind of
Luc-
like look at Lucille like, look.
Lucille is immediately just, oh, that is cool. Where did you get that? Hmm? Say again?
Um, right.
Lucille kind of glances at Umi's face with that one. Just, uh, got any more detail you can give me than that? Because this is.
Found a shipwreck. Lots of gold and little things. Got a got a decanter as well.
They kind of nod and then, can I, can I hold it?
They hand over the mullet scimitar to Lucy.
She takes it, like, kid, this is cool.
Uh, I imagine like I imagine like it's also that thing because it's a moonlight scimitar,
Mm-hmm.
and you know how the sea and moon are.
Yep.
So when Lusa was holding it, like it's not an actually overtly magical item. Like all it does is like glow,
Yeah.
and it does like magical damage, opposed to the normal damage.
Mm-hmm.
But like you know, considering how they both are,
Yeah. Like, her hair kind of does the Ghibli floof thing as she holds it, and is kind of just examining it all around, all like at all angles. Like,
yeah, and it does glow very faintly. It's hard to see in like straight up sunlight.
mm-hmm,
It does glow.
understandable. But Lucille is honestly kind of enraptured with this thing and gives it like a couple experimental swings, far, like, definitely away from Umi.
Out of curiosity, like, how about you make like an attack roll just to see how well you do with this?
Okay, all right, all right. Is
Uh,
Lucy?
this Vidar uses dexterity.
Yeah, she does not have. She does not have dexterity, so this is gonna probably not be great. But, and she's not
Mhm.
proficient with it, so that's not how. Thanks, dice parser. Frickin' try again. I did it in the wrong channel. Oh well, that's a 5.
Oh, this is 5. Yeah, you're swinging the sword around, but it's extremely clear to everyone. You have no idea what you're doing.
Lucille does not use a scimitar as their weapon. Their weapon, their weapon is their pact weapon, which is basically a mace. So like, yeah,
And Uwe's just watching this like kind of like calmly until like Lucille has finished. And then they kind of put the sticky hands motion so they can put the smitter back in their hammer space.
yeah. Lucille offers it back hilt first. Just, kid, this thing is cool, and you have to show Kaito when you head back to the town.
I showed him the last time I went back to town. You weren't there though.
Ah, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
his hair kind of and they sign this as they're putting the sword. Like their hair moved with the sword.
Oh, that's it did? Hmm.
The sword also glowed more.
It Lucille is now very interested in this. Just it did?
Mhm. Yumi isn't that surprised over it because like there's always been like Kaido is not like an ocean like warlock or cleric or whatever like the rest of them,
But
like the
like
rest of the crew.
yeah.
There always been something though.
Oh yeah. Kaito take two. Kaito has some weird things going on there, and Lucille's grokked that. It's just like hearing something so blatant, they're just kind of like, oh,
Ah,
oh,
they both of them share like a look.
yeah,
Like yeah,
yeah, yeah. Just all right, yeah. Lucille.
and
Oh, go ahead.
you first. You
I was gonna just Lucille once they put the scimitar away, uh they give Umi another once over and are just so where have you been been this whole time? Like what have you been doing? Who has been looking after you? And she casts a look at the poor sod sent to keep an eye on Umi.
God, that's probably very intimidating.
Yeah.
I know how intimidating Lucille can look.
Mm-hmm.
And Umi just kind of like Umi's just sitting here and just signs friend.
Lucille perks up a lot at that. Like, just their face kind of lights up at that. Just, oh, you have a friend? You have a friend? Why haven't you told me? Tell me everything. I want to know.
It's the child I told you guys about.
Say that what you broke up for me. Say that one more time.
Umi basically says she's the fire I mentioned before.
Oh, oh, her. Oh, you talk. Oh, Lucille is now giddy, just very excited that Umi has a friend.
Yeah, because this kid is you know, you know how it is, Lucille. You probably know
Mm-hmm.
better than most.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That.
And then Umi signs been staying at her. Here the sign is kind of weird. It's like aside that, it's also like boss.
Lucille has to tilt her head at that. Just. Dad? Boss? I. Like.
Ishra.
Lucille is still kind of. I. Hmm. Umi, you want to roll a quick insight for me?
Oh sure, and nine.
That's a 9. All right.
They're too busy caught up in the semantics of what the hell antler is.
Yeah, that's
Like
fair.
100%, they've rolled a nat 20 on the inside on antler once. They know that this is basically Ruby's dad
Mm-hmm.
and Boogie Woogie Woogie, but also like kind of Ruby's boss. They don't know why everyone's making it so complicated.
You know what? That's fair. And Lucille would probably have the same kind of why are you making this complicated? Just hug each other, damn it.
Yeah, like it. You don't have to roll inside. You'll see that Umi's kind of like Umi. Like it's that kind of thing. Like you can probably glean that it's that kind of like tune thing where someone's getting adopted, but they aren't like fully admitting it yet or something.
Yeah, yeah. Which again, Lucille knows this from experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they just I yeah, okay. That you know what? With my experience around this area, that tracks. They say this
And
area to mean all of Inkwell, but you know,
yeah, yeah, like, what do you mean Anquil is not an area? With how much do you still travel?
right? Been
And
around the fucking earth. They know the world.
Umi has not like traveled that much because again, still a kid.
Mm-hmm.
Anquil is still like he can travel a lot more than most people, but still not as much as an actual full-fledged adult warlock.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair, especially when he's been alive as long as Lucille.
Yeah, and hey Lucille, would you like to ask Umi about the names of like all
Oh
these
yes.
people?
So yes. So Lucille, uh, after like finally just shrugs along with Umi of like, yeah, all right, that tracks. So I know you've told me about your little friend, but like, you never really given. Has Umi given at least like the sign name for Ruby?
Yes.
Okay, so it's Fire Pinecone, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So Lucille just, okay, so you've told me about Fire Pinecone, but I need to know. I mean, you've only mentioned that you met them, but I need to tell like who like okay, who's the dad, and is there anybody else that you've met? Like I want Umi, it's been a while. I need details, please.
Umi like tilts their head and signs his name is Antler.
Lucille pauses at that. Uh Antler?
A not.
Just Antler?
A
They
I
there is a bit
lost
of hope in their voice.
kind of pause there because they do know Antler's real name now, but they're also like wise enough to remember that Antler probably doesn't want that spread around, so they nod again. And I'm gonna see if they think of.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna see if they think of it.
That's an
That's
8.
great. So they don't like specifically mention Antler's title, the Antler King. They're
Yeah.
just like, yeah, it's just Antler.
Roll me another insight, please, Umi.
That's a nat
No. Yeah, okay. This Lucille is doing their best to remain neutral. But the second that Umi mentions Antler and then just kind of like Antler, just Antler after that pause, Lucille is tense. And it's not a like, oh, this is awkward kind of tense, or just, oh, that's like, it's not a normal kind of tense. It's very much a, uh, how to word it?
it's a very much the kind of tense like someone's confronted with something they thought was like with a problem they thought would never like be a problem ever again.
That's a good way to put it. And also the tense of someone I care about is in danger.
Yeah. And Umi tilts their head and signs Antler again and makes Antler like they don't this time they don't sign it. It's more like they make kind of like they put their hands on their forehead in the approximate shape of antlers.
Like antlers, or just general antlers?
Antlers.
Yeah, so when they do that, that tension definitely like solidifies, and Lucille's happy, like jovial face sobers up. Uh and they look from Umi to the guard again, And now there is active hostility in their eyes.
On a roll. Another insight real quick to
Yep.
see if he notices the hostility. 17. They
Yeah.
do.
And just for fun, I we'll see how this works, but just for funsies, that is a dirty 20 intimidation on the card.
Oh no! That poor card!
Mm-hmm.
Poor. I feel like to their credit, like they probably do not leave. But like, oh no. And like, Umi's just like fucking. Umi's just like, okay. And they kinda like grab like Lucille's hand and tug a little.
They immediately turn their attention to Umi.
Umi looks vaguely disapproving.
uh, Lucille kind of just. Lucille kneels down to Umi's level and is just, kid, I'm not gonna, like, don't worry about the guard. He probably doesn't even, he probably doesn't have any choice in this. It's fine. But kid, are you seriously telling me that this antler is, you've, you've been, like, and then they kind of, like, grip their shoulders, like Umi's shoulders, like, not angry, just kind of very protective, like, you've been you've been with the antlered king.
Oh yeah, that's his other name they signed.
Umi, Umi, do you have any idea of who that is?
Umi Umi kind of looks at Lucille there. Again, isn't much of an expression change, but they signed Crown.
Man,
Umi knows, by the way. I will give it to you
Mm-hmm.
without like you're asking if Umi knows the kind of stuff Antler did,
Yep.
and and again, expression doesn't change, but yeah,
Yeah.
they do.
Yeah. And Lucille is now torn between, is this kid okay? Is Umi here? Their voice drops and just, Umi, are you sure that you are okay?
Umi considers this nuts.
And I know the answer, but Lucille is gonna do insight on that because this is paranoid. Dirty
What do you think?
22.
Lucille, you actually have an easier time reading Umi than most people.
Mm-hmm.
Because again, reasons, reasons,
Yep.
and yeah, they're telling the truth. Like, and it's not like they're not like aware of what Antler did or who Antler is. It's more like, yeah, they're telling the truth, and um, they really are okay.
Yeah. And uh kind of following on that 22 insight, uh they follow up with, and you're not, aside from motions to the broken leg, you're not being kept here.
Umi considers this, and then signs, kind of like it's slightly dejected in the way kids are. He doesn't let me go back into the water because my leg is broken.
And nods at that, like, that makes sense. But I mean, I don't mean because of your leg. Aside from your leg, you're not, but even before that, you weren't being kept, were you? And,
No,
okay.
Umi signs no, and then Umi signs. If anything, he probably doesn't. If anything, he probably didn't want me there.
Lucille considers this just, yeah, makes that tracks more with what I know. But they very much just
I like how Umi's explanations are simultaneously comforting and somehow not comforting at all.
exactly. Like, God, Lucille is like they are still tense. They're still very tense. But some of it has eased away. Like, and they're not actively looking as hostile anymore. But still very much just on edge, and they very clearly do not like that Umi is here.
And Umi like considers this because it will be kind of trouble if like Lucille does not agree with this because then like Lucille might tell Kaido, then Kaido will have that disappointed face.
Yeah, the disappointed face that he gets that none of them like to see because that means that they've done something that's concerning.
Yeah, so Umi just signs. Umi just kind of taps their broken leg and goes, "Save me."
Umi does what? Hey, wait, say that again.
Umi taps the cast on their broken leg
Mm-hmm.
and signs, "You saved me."
Lucille again considers that because that goes against everything they know.
Yeah, like why would the Antlered King just save a random child?
Yeah, why would the antlered king do that? And they're now frowning. It's supposed to be a frown, I swear, but it looks more like a scowl. They're scowling at that cast right now. Just
And then Umi follows this up with a "They cooked dinner for me," and like again, Lucille, you're also a fucking ocean warlock.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
but like if you're more shark line, Umi's like Umi's like kind of mishmash between a lot of like different ocean creatures,
Mm-hmm.
but you do know like the importance they place on like community eating.
Yup. And so that Lucille kind of they're still kneeling. They haven't like they haven't stood up yet, but their grip on Umi does soften. Like they're not gripping his shoulders; they're more just hands are now just placed on their shoulders, and they very very like very carefully are just Umi. I trust that you are capable that you know how to look after yourself. I just worry about the intentions of others.
Umi considers this.
And someone like that likely does not have good intentions.
Umi considers this again.
Mm-hmm.
And they kind of give a shrug.
Oh, me, please. Lucille. Lucille winces at that. Just, I. Look, kid, I, I, there's people out there that aren't great, and you know this, I know you know this. Just, they can hide it very well behind a guise of friendship. And I don't want that to happen to you.
Umi does kind of look at Lucille now, and you can probably you can probably tell Lucille is genuinely worried.
Mm-hmm.
So they silence that they silence that were you around when he was?
And there's no pause, but Lucille just kind of, yeah, yeah, I was. I heard firsthand the things that he did.
Umi not. Umi signs I saw it.
That makes Lucille kind of frown. You what?
And the explanation that comes is kind of scattered and like you're not sure you get the gist, but you get the gist. It's something something mind flare, something something mind shenanigans, something something seeing memories.
Yeah. Lucille probably gets mind flayer memories in the mind I, and again, they're just kind of uh quietly horrified.
But also it's just the Anquil's so goddamn weird.
Yeah.
This might really
Einquil's
happen.
so weird. This might as well happen, but also this is a child and that's and they mentioned mind flayer.
And then explanation turns to the mind flayer who just wanted to live and now it's a kiwi.
Yes. That's still great.
And
Do they tell that part to Lucille?
yes, the kiwi actually takes 70% of the explanation
Oh my god.
because they got to the kiwi and then they were silent quicker and their eyes were shining a little because kiwi.
Kiwi, precious, cute. And Lucille is just again enraptured in this story, but quietly horrified because this is some shit that this kid just went through. What on earth? And
In fairness, Umi didn't mention what the memories were specifically.
yeah, just that they
They
saw memories.
Yeah, and then after they spent 5 minutes gushing on about the kiwi and how much they get to pet it and hold it and snuggle with it,
Mm-hmm.
um, they kind of go, I know what he did.
Lucille. Lucille frowns at that, just and yet, and yet, and they kind of just leave it at that because you know what he did and yet you're still here. Lucille obviously has the colored view of only the bad, so this makes sense. But
Yeah, Umi gives a little kind of shrug and very bluntly signs, this happened hundreds of years ago. They never did any of that to me, so I don't care.
Lucille make just kid. I I this hmm I still remember all of that. It's not like it it is in the past, but it's still hmm you don't know if he's really changed.
Umi kind of looks at Lucille, just just kind of looks at her, and then signs. Been living with him for a while now, harder to lie when you're around someone so much.
And they they kind of they concede that point. They concede that point. That's just yes, but I the antlered king, Umi.
Umi, Umi does not look very impressed.
Which for Umi is kind of the same as Kaito's disappointed face, and Lucille sees that and is just, ugh, don't look at me like that. You, ugh. Kid,
Umi
I'm.
kind of like
Oh, go ahead.
Umiana holds their hands up and like signs. You told me people were complicated.
They, I did, and they are, and that
So why can't they change?
that I
Umi has a way of like taking the 18 wisdom and bludgeoning you with the
oh
with
yeah, oh yeah,
direct armor piercing questions.
oh yeah, oh yeah. And Lucille just kind of sighs. I they okay. I
And Umi kind of looks at Lucille and signs. Was dead for hundreds of years. Wouldn't you say that's enough for what he did?
and Lucille kind of pauses at that because that's a bit of news. Um,
Umi's assuming, by the way,
yeah,
like 'cause he did meet Antler back when he was like a living skeleton.
yeah,
So they're assuming he was just
yeah.
dead
That's
for hundreds of years.
that's a fair thing, especially because as far as Lucille knew, yeah, Antler was dead, but you never know. Um, they Lucille finally just sighs and runs a hand through their hair or attempts to. Uh, doesn't get very far; it's too thick. But anyway, Lucille sighs and just, oh, okay, I'm against my better judgment. I'm gonna trust you on this one, kid.
Again, most expression doesn't change, but they nod.
And Lucille just, but I, I, I just don't want, I just don't want you to get hurt, okay?
Umi tilts their head.
Uh,
Understand.
oh, go ahead.
I think like they just signed. Would it make you feel better to meet him?
Lucille freezes at that. Just, I. But then they pause because they are considering it. And it might be a little bit of violence fueling this, not gonna lie. Uh, with the thought of if he isn't on the up and up, I can just bash his head in with an anchor. But eventually they just,
Oh,
huh?
oh my god, I'm just laughing.
I know. listen, listen. Lucille knows what they're about. And that's
Yeah.
extreme violence to protect what's theirs.
Me is theirs.
Umi is
Holds the
theirs.
holds the child.
Yes. Uh, so Lucille just eventually kind of, I, yes, I think it would.
Umi nods,
But,
and Umi said,
oh, go ahead.
hmm?
No, go ahead.
"You first."
Okay,
No, I. Umi was pretty done talking. They just
okay.
nodded.
Lucille's gonna add, but, uh, I'm not going inland to meet him. I'm staying out here in the ocean.
Oh, she's. Oh god, she's like making it. Oh man, Lucille.
Listen, hey Umi, you want to roll insight on that one?
Sure, let's go. Ah,
Mm,
motorcycle.
yeah,
Seven.
that's
I could argue advantage because they both do know each other.
they do, and this is yeah. Go do one more time just to see advantage, just to see.
Oh, that's a
Hey,
dirty
that's a dirty
20.
20. All right, so uh, you definitely like when Lucille says this. You definitely twig that there is the caution of, yeah, no, I'm not meeting Antler on his home turf. He's going to come down here to the pier, right where we are, and we're going to talk on in a place where, this is a little more at home for us. And uh, also, there's a bit of past experience that going on behind there. Not with Antler, just there's a little bit of past experience there when they say that.
Me notices, but really doesn't bring much attention to it
Mm-hmm.
because, that's like Lucille thing.
Yeah.
But they do sign like don't hurt him. And like they sign like Ruby's name sign and goes likes him.
I, Lucille just heaves a sigh, another sigh. I won't hurt him if he doesn't give me a reason to. Is that fair?
Umi considers this and then signs hurt him as a very last resort.
Yeah. Okay. I
Good.
just Lucille is not happy about this situation, but they will do this.
Umi's just like good. And Umi kind of like pauses a second before signing I like him too.
And again, Lucille is looking at Umi, and for a second, it's not like they see Umi. Like they're very much seeing a younger them right now, and oh boy. And so
Also like that thing. It's also that thing where like Lucille's like shit, this might be Umi's friends.
yeah,
These might be Umi's friends.
these might
Like
be Umi's friends, but also I was in a similar situation, and that ended very poorly for me. So, yeah.
uh Lucille looking at her past memories, projecting? What? No, there's
No,
no way I'm projecting.
I'm not projecting onto this little child. No, 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 a little bit,
No, never.
little bit, just a tiny bit. It's fine. Don't worry about it.
I worry about it. I worry about it very much.
No, it's
But
fine.
um, but I think we could end the FPS there. Really?
I
Probably Umi probably Umi will talk to Lucille about Love the Dragon
oh yes.
and like some other things in Ruindal, like Jergy and the mad scientist and Chester and everything.
yeah. Lucille is gonna listen and like ask questions and such, and they're they stay on the pier, and they very pointedly stay on the pier. Um, but once it gets to a point where they realize like this kid needs food, this kid needs to go eat, or this kid has been away for a while, and it probably needs to rest. They eventually like scoop them up in a big hug again, and just kind of whisper, please stay safe, Umi.
Me playing Spud pats her back again.
Mm-hmm. And they set them she sets them down, ruffles Umi's hair a little bit, and just Well, you know where to find me, kid. You know how to call me. I guess just whenever this thing whenever this thing is gonna happen, just yeah, you know how to call me.
They nod.
Yep. And again, they look at Umi and are just, and I mean it, stay safe.
Well, hold on. I think
A pause. Hello, Peanut Gallery. How are you doing?
yeah, back.
Oh, you're back. Okay.
And what did you say before I had to leave?
They ruffled Umi's hair and told them, and I mean it, kid. Stay safe.
Me nods.
And Lucille again, one more hug because they care this child.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And I think we can end our FPS there,
Yeah.
if you like.
Yep. I think we can call it there.
God, that went better